Welcome back, everybody, to our channel. We're here at the Veterans Museum in Chehalis, Washington with Chip Duncan.
My name is Chip Duncan. I'm the Executive Director of the Veterans Memorial Museum, and really appreciate this opportunity to come and share a little bit about the museum. Our motto for the museum is that we want to heal, but also to honor our American veterans. So this artifact right here sums up why we do the museum the way that we do. This is a memorial that was created by Centralia High School right at the end of World War II. It was built by the shop teacher and the math teacher, and what they wanted to do was to create a memorial to honor the service and sacrifice of the men and women who had graduated from the high school and who had served in World War II. The shop teacher had his students build up the frame, and the math teacher did all of the research on getting the names. And so in her research, she was able to at least get the name, what year they had graduated from the high school, and what branch of service they had gone into. And as you step back and you look, you can see also that there's a lot of gold and silver stars next to some of the names. And those gold and silver stars represent individuals that were killed in combat. The very first Centralian to be killed was this kid over here, Donald Rumbalski. He had actually graduated from the high school in June of 1941, went up to Bremerton, trained as a radio operator, and then in November of 1941, he was placed aboard his first ship, the USS Arizona. He went down with the Arizona on December 7th, 1941, and his remains were never recovered. He still resides with the grave at the Arizona to this day. Now this is a portrait of one small town in America. There's about 1,200 names here that served during the Second World War. It went up in the high school. Being a small town, everybody kind of knew somebody on this, and it was a very popular item. When the old high school had kind of grown too small because the town kept growing, they decided to tear it down and build a new high school in its current location. And the day that they went to go tear it down, two of the World War II veterans grabbed some lawn chairs and a six-pack of beer and thought, let's go watch the old high school get knocked down. Much to their horror, when one of the bulldozers was knocking down an exterior wall, revealing a classroom, they saw that this was laying on the floor of that classroom about to be destroyed. They stopped the deconstruction, rescued it, they took it back to their house, and then when the new high school was built, they brought it back to the new high school. Unfortunately, the new high school did not have enough room to put up such a large memorial, so they ended up putting it into a storage room. It sat in the storage room for several years. There was a water leak in that storage room. There was damage to the bottom of the case and the paper. Larry Dean, who was a Vietnam veteran, he found it. He was the new history teacher there. He found it in 1976, realized what it was, saw that it was in pretty bad shape, and he got the Key Club involved to raise the money to restore the frame and archive the paper. They finished the project and then presented it back to the high school. Well, now the high school had to do something with it. They didn't have enough space in their display area still to put this large thing, so they ended up putting it about 20 feet up in the air in the commons room that was in between the gymnasium and the lunchroom. And so being 20 feet up in the air, nobody could see it. Nobody really even knew what it was. I've run into some people who were students at the time that this was in the commons room, and they never remember ever seeing it as well. In 1999, when Larry Dean retired from teaching there, he got two janitors, and they took it down off the high spot of the wall, and then brought it down to the museum, and we've had it ever since. Unfortunately, the tale of this artifact is, here was a monument that was meant to help us remember the service and sacrifice of a generation. But over the passage of time, it just kind of became something to forget, something to not be gazed upon, not something to be paid importance to, because history had marched on. The Vietnam War, the Korean War, Desert Storm and Shield, modern day in Afghanistan. So the passage of time, things get forgotten. And so that's what we don't want to happen here at the Veterans Memorial Museum. All of our displays in the gallery do not have to do with American history, but we are here to preserve and tell the stories of individual veterans who served in that history. Because each one of these veterans has a story to tell. And that's our hope here, that you will learn about all of these stories of those great men and women who have served our country to provide us with the freedoms that we have.
They got this huge flag with this huge plane in front of it here. Just can't do it justice. Like a George C. Scott standing in front of a flag. It's a humongous one.
Out here in this field, they do Civil War reenactments in the summer. It's a fun little event to come down and watch. Contact the museum here for dates.